It's a city in the Golden State known for history, culture, and innovation, and yet most people never see it. But I'm going to take you through and then above some of my hidden gems of Santa Ana, California. Just 35 miles south of Los Angeles and 10 miles from the Pacific coast, Santa Ana's history and heritage is a rich part of the larger California story. It began as a farm community of Spanish settlers in the 1700s. Incorporated in 1886, railroad lines connected the city to Los Angeles and San Diego. And as Santa Ana grew, it was at the forefront of a changing California. By the 1980s, Santa Ana reached a majority Latino population, the highest Latino demographic percentage of any major city in the state. Most people never even think about the city as they're heading north and south in California. But if they get off the freeway and take the train, which stops here about 9 times a day, that's when they get to explore and experience something that most people never see in Santa Ana, California. And if the train brings you right to the heart of Santa Ana, there's another vehicle that can help you take in the city all at once. The Santa Ana Airport is officially named the John Wayne Airport, after one of Orange County's most celebrated residents. And here, I'm hitching a ride with Kelly Mitchell, a member of a flying club that welcomes visitors. After all, they're always looking for an excuse to get airborne.
I'll wait to direct this pickup. All right, here we go.
So the Orange County Flyers are a group of pilots who basically all chipped in and bought an aircraft.
It's the perfect social club for Kelly. She basically grew up at the airport.
Dad's a pilot, learned to ride a bike at the airport, learned to drive at the airport. I love being around planes and couldn't imagine doing anything else.
All right, so just down here on the left, that's Santa Ana right there.
Not that big.
It's really not, no. We've got Discovery Center down there.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
The Discovery Cube is a children's science museum that opened in 1998. And it's pretty easy to spot, with its namesake cube soaring over 100 feet into the air.
And then just a little further back is the zoo, the Santa Ana Zoo back there. It's small but fun.
While it looks small from the air, it's got quite a story to tell once you're on the ground. You know, if I have a choice of being on the San Diego freeway or being up here, I think I'll pick up here.
I agree. I think this is much better.
It's definitely a unique way of seeing Santa Ana, because when you're driving through it, it's kind of a blip on the freeway. But when you're over it, it just kind of takes on a real pretty look from up above. Definitely beats the Orange County traffic.
Once you've gotten an overview, you'll want to take a closer look at Santa Ana. Nicely done.
Thank you.
And before you leave the airport, there's one more stop to make. Most folks who fly out of John Wayne Airport don't even know it's there.
What a lot of people don't realize is we're not just located next to an airport, we're located on the airport.
Hey, he just took off.
And so we have the best view in the house.
Mark Foster is the president of the Lyon Air Museum, which was founded for and by those who flew in World War II.
Our founder, General William Lyon, flew missions during World War II. He was an avid flyer, and not only did he want to fly airplanes, but he wanted to share that passion with others.
So he started collecting aircraft, leading to the opening of the museum in 2009.
All these aircraft are in restored, mostly pristine condition, pretty much as they would have been during the war. You want to see the planes of the greatest generation. Here they are.
You're not kidding.
Probably one of the most significant aircraft at Lyon Air Museum is our B-17 Flying Fortress. It was really the bomber that did most of the heavy lifting during the war.
And then there's this one.
The B-25 Mitchell. And that was used probably most famously during the Doolittle raid. They were sent to Japan as a response to the attack on Pearl Harbor.
This is the one that took off from the aircraft carrier over Tokyo, and they knew when they took off, they could never make it back. It was a doomed mission.
Fortunately, this one wasn't on that mission, and that's why we have it today.
Wow. There's the Douglas A-26 Invader, which saw combat in more conflicts than any other plane of its era. The North American AT-6, used for training pilots. And this C-47A cargo plane, which later flew for American Airlines as a DC-3.
It flew on June 6, 1944, dropping the 101st Airborne over the beaches of Normandy.
The best part of this museum is you get to crawl inside some of these planes. And though it's an air museum, they also have automobiles from the time period, including a very special, notorious Mercedes G4.
September 1st, 1939, the original owner and this vehicle roll into Poland, thus invading Poland and starting World War II. That original owner was Adolf Hitler.
And where was he sitting?
He was sitting right where you're sitting.
All right, get me out of here. It's an astonishing piece of World War II history, one that was captured by the French Army before making the journey across the world to be part of General Lyon's collection. Some of these planes are still taken out and flown, but the most important preservation that happens here is not the planes, but the stories of the people who flew them.
The Lyon Air Museum is a tribute to the greatest generation, and they became the greatest generation because the most significant event of the 20th century, World War II, it was all on their shoulders.
Santa Ana is also known for another way of getting airborne. And to get started, head to the city's historic downtown district and look for this small storefront. What are you doing? These are beautiful. These are inline skates.
Yes, sir. Santa Ana is the capital of inline skating. This is where street skating was pretty much started.
Inline skating, a more sophisticated way of describing rollerblading, became a major trend in the 1990s. And skate companies heavily marketed their new products to rental shops in California beach towns, attracting people like Them Skates owner, Jonathan Julio.
We all gravitated here to skate. The industry itself, the events, were centered here in Orange County.
And after retiring from professional skating, Jonathan went into selling and making skates. But these are not mass-produced, off-the-shelf items. His store offers customers a bespoke experience.
Come with me.
And Jonathan invited me in to see the process.
This is where all the magic happens. This is where we get to customize your complete skate. You tell me, we won't build it right now.
First, I got to pick out all my pieces, of course in my favorite colors. There.
No blue, okay.
Then, it was time to assemble them.
You want to screw it in there? Yeah. Now we're gonna connect sill plates into the boot, the shell.
Almost.
Teamwork.
There we go.
And now we got the wheels. Here.
Building custom skates isn't the only thing Jonathan is doing for the inline skate community in Santa Ana. In 2012, he started the Blading Cup, a small neighborhood contest that spun into something much bigger, and which now happens every year in November.
Blading Cup is the biggest public inline skating event, probably globally. We have 20, 30 different countries represented at our events.
All right, last one up. Okay.
There you go, all right. Last step here. You put these babies on your feet.
Here we go. And then, custom fitting. Got it.
There's something very special about skates when you put them on. There's a certain kind of freedom. There's a certain individuality to it.
It's a perfect custom fit. Now, if I only knew how to skate.
Feet together.
Feet together.
Knees a little bit.
Like this. Whoa! You're good. This is one small step for man and one giant leap for orthopedic surgery.
You're good. How are we doing?
How am I doing?
Let's go to the skate park. Ready?
No. Downtown Santa Ana is full of shops, events, historic theaters, and plenty of places to get a drink. But the locals tend to head to this bar, Cerveza Cito, because it's also a brewery. And you'll quickly notice the theme of the decor.
The whole skeleton motif kind of started with growing up in our culture. It's a lot of Dia de los Muertos, right? We wanted to pay homage to that represent the Day of the Dead.
Jay Bird has started several small downtown businesses under the name Suavecito Inc., which translates to smooth talker.
Born and raised here, we love this town. I've seen a lot of growth being here in downtown for 15 years now. We are the little guys taking care of each other.
It's the type of friendly local place that when you pop in for a beer, if you ask, you can help to make it. Hey, man.
Hey, Peter, how you doing?
All right.
Let's get to work.
Let's get to work. Brewer Kevin Buckley led me up to where they were working on a Mexican lager.
Right now we have the mash going, so we'll have you give it a little bit of a stir. If you want to reach in there and give everything a good agitation for us.
All right. How much is in here right now?
There's 810 pounds of grain right now,
Ooh.
Pilsner malt, and then a little bit of flaked corn, and then a few hundred gallons of water.
Then we added the bittering hops.
And those will add that trademark hop bitterness you kind of get in beer, and then we'll transfer off and go to fermentation.
And how long does that take?
For this beer, it's usually 4 to 5 weeks.
Luckily for me, another batch of the same beer had already been started 5 weeks earlier and was now ready. That's good.
Thank you.
In Santa Ana, a number of locals pursue a little-known ritual. They don't just have a beer with a chaser, they go for a beer with a razor. It's about 40 steps away from the brewery at El Catrine Barbershop.
What are we gonna do today?
A nice little beard, trim it up a little bit.
Cool.
No electric trimmers or shavers here. It's hot lather and sharp blades. And though El Catrine only opened in 2010, barbers like Nico provide an old-school service and an atmosphere that feels timeless.
Are we styling?
Oh yeah, por supuesto. With Santa Ana, there's so much to offer in the city, not to mention around the city. One of the best hidden gems of Santa Ana is actually geography. It's a perfect hub city to go to anywhere you want to go in Southern California. In fact, I'm standing right now only 4.4 miles from downtown Santa Ana. And guess where I am? I'm on the left field line of Angel Stadium. Sometimes lovingly referred to as the Big A, this is the 4th oldest active major league ballpark. And if you show up early enough, you get a great view of the warm-ups with just you and the players. And after the game, I had one more stop to make. Nestled between freeways and condo buildings, the Santa Ana Zoo is such a hidden gem that many residents don't even know about it.
Some people live their whole lives in Santa Ana and never know the zoo is here.
Jenny Walker is an animal care manager here, and she explained to me the unusual requirements surrounding the zoo's founding.
When the land was gifted to the city of Santa Ana back in the 1950s, Mr. Joseph Prentice loved children, and he thought having a zoo here was the way to create a great place for kids for decades to come. And so he gifted the land here with the stipulation that we have 50 monkeys at all times. 50. But since then, we have worked with the Prentice family and changed that deed, so we don't have to have 50, but we will always have our primate heritage here at the zoo.
The Santa Ana Zoo is small and doesn't have large animals like elephants or giraffes, but Jenny considers the compact size an actual advantage.
When you go to a larger zoo, you are further away from the animals. Here at our zoo, you really feel like you're more up close and a more intimate connection with the animals here.
In some cases, very intimate. So we're going in.
We're going in. This is our new goat interaction yard, and you get to come up and meet the goats up close and personal.
And once you bring out the food, things get really close and personal. You want one too? There you go. Yeah, no, oh, don't be a hog. You're a goat. In addition to the goats, you can also feed a local celebrity.
A giant anteater, and we're gonna make his breakfast right now.
Now, what's actually in this?
So this little smoothie is a blend of banana, papaya, spinach, hard-boiled egg, and a commercial insectivore diet that's specially made for zoo insectivores.
The smoothie tubes are placed in the wall, and then the anteater uses his 18-inch tongue to dig out the food, just like if he was breaking into a termite mound in the wild. How old is he?
He's about 20 years old. He's been here at the zoo since 2009.
And in anteater ears, is that?
That's an old man, yeah.
But he's still hanging in there.
He's doing great.
Wow, and what's his name?
His name is Peter, just like you.
I'm an old guy. The zoo, like so many other things about Santa Ana, may be surrounded by California freeways, but that may be the unintended beauty of the city for those lucky enough or smart enough to take the freeway off-ramp. And that's when you get to see the hidden gems of Santa Ana.